Well, hello guys. You ready for some reviews? Well, we're sitting down for our evening reviewing time, cracking open a case of Leinenkugel that might have just did not, might have just splashed the lens. That was hilarious. Wait. Relax. We are going to be reviewing the Bestech Beluga. Okay, now you can go. Alright guys, so today we got the Bestech Beluga. I was not, when I ordered this, I wasn't super stoked on the Beluga itself, although I enjoyed the way it looked, and you guys will see it once once I open the blade. But that appealed to me. But that being said, I wasn't super stoked on it. I was super stoked on Bestech, and I still am. I think Bestech's fantastic. But that's why I really got this, is I'm trying to dig through the brands that I like more so than the other brands, because I don't want to pick up something that I'm like, blah. Like the Civivi King Natter, I just wasn't a fan of, even though I like Civivi. It was just kind of like, crap, that sucked. Didn't suck, but you guys get the point. So this is the Bestech Beluga. This has G10. It's like a pseudo contour. It's like if there is a contour, it's very, very slight. But it's thick, it's robust. There's a lot of, I'm going to call this chamfering, but it's like steps. Hold on. Hear that? It's like steps going on down. Let's see if you can see what's a good angle for you guys to really see this. I don't really know how to show you guys the steps, but it's going down on either side. It's almost like a mixture between scalloping, steps, and chamfering. Like, it's kind of weird. The rest of the edges are chamfered all the way around. We do have this triangular lanyard hole right here. And then a pocket clip that looks chromed out, pretty good looking. The bad part about the pocket clip, well, we'll get into that, why it's bad later, but it's on this raised platform that I'm not quite sure what we were attempting to do with that other than raise it and just create a singular pocket clip here. Not too many issues with that, but it's kind of like I'm not sure. Now, functionally, it works fantastic. That pocket clip just works just great. We have a G10 backspace right here with a little bit of jimping in there, probably more so for design than function because you can't feel it when you're doing this. We have some liners that are going around right here that once I open the blade, you guys will see that these liners are milled out. We have the very cool Bestech logo on the pivot right there. I love the Bestech logo pivot. There's one more that I'm going to be reviewing tonight that I really like that pivot as well. But for such a cheaper knife, I mean, it just looks so cool. You can tell there's a little bit of extra fine detail going into it, and that's what I feel about Bestech. I feel like they pay attention to the finer details. Hence why it's one of my favorite brands for probably the sub 150 mark. All right, you guys ready for this? We have a flipper tab here with some jimping going on there and some jimping on the liner leading up to the flipper tab. Let's give it a flick. Oh, yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks that I flicked it and the lighting was like on the opposite side. It would have looked cooler if I was like this. Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll edit that out. Probably not. So this is kind of like a drop point, spear point style blade shape with a full flat grind. It's really, really cool. It's just great. Super, super functionable blade shape. And that was a badly put together syllables. I put the wrong syllables on the wrong syllable. Anyways, we got the Bestech logo going on right there. Looks cool. Pretty sure that's laser etched in, not 100. This is a D2 blade, and we have some jimping along the spine of the blade here with some very, very slight, it's going to be hard to show, but just enough chamfering to knock down the edges. So for example, up here, it shaves just a little bit. Right here, it shaves nothing. So yeah, that's just to put that into perspective. It's really cool. Again, fine attention to detail that Bestech does here. Just fantastic the way they do that. And it feels great. I mean, you can't really tell. I'm not going to call it a crown spine, but it feels like they went for something like that that just feels good in your hand. We have a liner lock right here that is stainless steel with some jimping right there. Very easy access to the liner lock because based on the other side, you can really access it from here. They did a larger cutout on the show side than the liner lock side, so it really allows for good access. This is on bearings, so the action for a knife that is, full disclosure, 52 bucks, coming in great. Great action. And I'm not quite sure why Bestech doesn't get the notoriety that something like Civivi does, because in my opinion, a knife like this feels more robust than a Civivi knife. Not saying it's better, I'm just saying it feels more robust for the same size. It might be a little bit heavier, but it's just, for those of us, I know we love the slicey blades, and this has come with the ultra slicey blade too. I just don't know why they don't get as much. Maybe it's marketing, maybe it's just the hype train, not sure. You have a forward finger choil here that works just fine. Let's see here. Am I missing anything? That's what I wanted to show you guys. All right, so right here you can see milled liners all the way through. It's hard to tell. There's milling even on the liner lock side. There you go. You got some holes on that side. And then on this side, you got some decently milled liners as well. Bad show and tell, but you guys gotta get the point. All right, guys. Let's get you guys some specs. We're going to some size comparisons. We're going to my likes, my dislikes, and my overall thoughts. All right, so first on the spec train is the weight. Probably shouldn't slam my scale around. That seems a little counterproductive for what I do. All right. This weight is coming in at a 3.76 ounces. So it's not a lightweight knife for the size that you're getting, because it's relatively short by comparison of the weights for the blade to length ratio, or blade weight to length ratio, whatever. All right. So the overall length is coming in at 7.5, and the overall blade length is coming out just over 3 inches. Your cutting edge is coming in at just shy of 3 inches due to that large finger choil. Not so much large finger choil. I think I have in my notes here. Yeah, the finger choil is slightly, like, it's the perfect size to be comfortable, and yet almost too small. Like it's the perfect size for me, but if you had chunkier hands, it might not be the perfect size. I'm not quite sure. Like, even though it looks large, there's just something about how shallow it is that I can already see the meat of my finger kind of going up on the blade, which it's comfortable and I'm not worried. But somebody with slightly larger fingers or slightly more sausage fingers, you guys might be a little bit more worried about this than somebody like me. Just throwing that out there, just giving a full disclosure. By the way, on Blade HQ, this is going for $52, and the reason I'm throwing this in there too is I believe this is discontinued. I'm sure you can find them, but I believe this is a discontinued blade, and I'm not sure why. I think this thing's fantastic. Oh, did I just ruin the whole review? I told you my thoughts, and now you guys ain't gonna stick around. All right, so the blade stock's coming in at 125 thousandths flat. The behind the edge thickness is coming in at a whopping 18 thousandths. Let's check up by the tip, see if they kept it the same or just went for the same grind. Yeah, the behind the tip is coming in at 18 thousandths as well. So this is a very, very slicey blade with that full flat grind. It's so functional, guys. So functional. All right, so the overall thickness in your pocket's coming in at 0.56. Like I told you, it's a little bit more robust than a typical Civivi. Civivis don't come in at that 0.56. They're coming in at that 0.5 to a little bit less. The highest point in your pocket's coming in at a 1.22. So nowhere near a Spyderco, nowhere near any of those. There's nothing really to worry about when it comes to the overall height in your pocket. Speaking of Civivi, let's just give a quick reference. So the Elementum's coming in at a 0.42 inches thick, and the Badlands, the Brazen is coming in at a 0.848 inches thick. So yeah, this is going to be coming in a little bit thicker than your Civivis, giving you a little bit more meat in your hands to fill out, and yeah. So here is your Civivi Brazen and your Civivi Elementum. As you can see, this is right in the middle of those two, right? You got your Civivi Brazen slightly longer, and your Civivi Elementum is slightly shorter. This is one of those in-betweeners. Next, let's do your feldspar sandwich, and I apologize if you guys hear the chickens in the background. Those guys are going nuts. Can't really do nothing. They're baby chickens. It's not like I can really even yell at them, so let's deal with it. They're in my studio for now. Soon they will be outside because they will be too large. All right, so we got the small feldspar and the regular size feldspar. The regular size feldspar is coming in at maybe half of an inch longer, but the small feldspar is coming in at damn near the same size, if not a quarter to a half of an inch shorter. It's very, very comparable, though. Next, let's get to your rat sandwich. Here is your Rat Model 2, which is coming in at just about the same length. Once again, maybe a quarter of an inch shorter, and your Rat Model 1 coming in at much longer than your Bestech Beluga. Last but not least, we have the Spyderco sandwich. You guys know my Spyderco sandwich changes on a daily basis, but it hasn't changed in the recent reviewing weeks. I may be swapping that Tenacious out for another knife, depending on what happens when the bearings come in. It's just a little, you know, little tidbit right there. We got to fix something. All right, so here is your little native, right next to your Spyderco Tenacious in full serrations. The Tenacious is, deceivingly enough, just about the same length, maybe an eighth of an inch longer. Obviously, your little native's coming in at much shorter, but yeah, so those of you with the Tenacious and you like the blade, or not really the blade length, you're getting a lot more blade length out of the Tenacious than you are the Bestech, but those of you that really like that overall size, realistically, you're kind of getting that. It's just a more condensed version. So, as a quick recap, D2 blade steel, we got a flat grind with a full flat grind coming down the full face of the blade, making this ultra slicey with this 1.25 inch 0.125 inch blade stock. See, I tried to throw that in there to throw more information at you guys, and I failed. We have a forward finger choil that, with jimping on the spine that your thumb rests comfortably on, and it naturally goes there. This feels really good. And even this feels really good, even though my hands are slightly crammed in, just because of the way this pommel comes down and it curves in. But if I were to do that, that actually feels all right too. So I'm not going to do extended cutting like this, but I could definitely do extensive work like this. And with that narrow blade behind the edge, you are going to slice through a whole hell of a lot. If you're looking for a fidget-friendly knife, this thing is definitely meets the bill. I mean, it's on bearings, and it's going just fine. It's not completely drop shut, but I'm sure if I were to clean this out, lube it up, you know, polish some stuff, it's going to be stupid drop shut. Well, as close as you're going to get it for a $50 knife. The liner is very easily accessed, and it has jimping on the liner, so I don't have any problems with that. One qualm that I might have is I'm getting tired of jimping on liners. I would rather have them scallop the liner and take the jimping off, because it feels like such a more smooth just feeling as you're pressing against it. That jimping really grips your hand, but it doesn't quite. I mean, if I were to scallop this, because you made so much access to that liner, you would feel super comfortable. There's something about a scalloped liner versus a liner with jimping that I just absolutely adore. So we have some G10 that's really, really cool. It's this blue and black G10. There you go. With these steps. It's like a scalloping, jimping, not jimping. It's almost like a long jimp. And they scalloped on down after they did like the little cuts. It's pretty cool looking, and it's two-tone, so it fits really well. You can see in this G10 there's layers of the blue and black. And that looks really sweet. Even on this little pocket or the pocket clip ramp or step or whatever it's called, it looks really good. The G10 anyways. Backspacer looks pretty cool. The one thing I don't like about the backspacer, which I get kind of because you're cutting your G10 from layered G10, which is how you get this faded because they do a little sanding right here or whatever the case is it's perfectly layered. And you got these racing stripes here, but you have like this just blend going on here. I mean, it almost looks out of place with the racing stripes. Not a big deal. It's just an aesthetic, and some of you may disagree, but just take a look. We got some racing stripes, and then we have just, like, blending, right? So I get it. I get how you're cutting it from the same G10, and it makes sense. That being said, it kind of looks a little off. A triangular lanyard hole here, which is just fine. I mean, it's out of the way. They didn't emphasize it or anything, and I have no problems with it. So what are my likes? First and foremost, the ergonomics of this remind me a lot of my Civivi Doris. A lot of this knife kind of reminds me of that short, fat Civivi Doris that in your hand you feel like you can do a lot of work with a, not necessarily a super large knife. Now, this isn't a small knife by any means. It does breach the 3-inch mark, but it is kind of a, let's say, it is kind of just like a medium-sized knife. This pocket clip is fine. It's literally just a piece of stainless steel right there with the ramp. I mean, the pocket clip works great, and I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, what I really like is I like the ergonomics. I really like the blade shape. The blade is so damn functional. You guys are going to love using this blade, those of you that have it or get your hands on one. The action for a $50 knife rivals that of other $50 knives these days. It's perfectly fine. On these bearings, it feels great. The one thing that I always wish a knife had is some way to reverse flick it, because I love reverse flicking my knives. But short of that, not a big deal. The overall look of this knife actually looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't have any problems. Let's see if I can get some good light on it. I don't have any problems with the way this looks. It just kind of looks like a worker, but it's a little bit more dolled up than your regular, say, rat type of knife, right? The rat knife, you just pull it out, that's a tool. This one looks a little bit more, classy is the wrong word, a little bit more stylish, right, than anything. And that's a good thing, because not only are you adding function, but you're mixing it with style, and I think it looks pretty sweet. What are my dislikes? Well, I didn't mention, I love the Bestech pocket clip, or pivot. I love it. I love the Bestech pivot. So what are my dislikes? If I had to pick one, I really don't understand this. It doesn't create a hotspot, so I guess I have zero problems with it. And what they tout this knife as on the other sites are really just, it's a knife that's a workhorse with no ergonomic issues, no hotspots. And they're right. This isn't a hotspot because it's right out of the way. It's right on this ramp right here of the pommel. And you don't really feel it, but it just kind of looks, out of everything that looks stylish, that kind of looks dumb. I mean, I'd never seen a knife with that little ramp, and you can't flip it to the other side. It's only a right hand carry only. So again, not really a dislike for objective views. It's more of a dislike for subjective, because I don't really like the way that looks. On the flip side, the kind of the polished chrome look on the pocket clip looks pretty sweet. And overall, this thing looks cool, and it's extremely functional and extremely ergonomic. This is a fantastic, fantastic knife for a price of $52 on Blade HQ, which I am not sure if you can find them anymore. I think the green one was sold out. I keep using Blade HQ, by the way, as a reference for your prices. Let's not forget, you guys can go to White Mountain Knives and use my promo code EEDCWMK for 10% off. That's where I literally shop whenever I buy anything. The dude's name is Justin, because you guys can all see it on your packages. I was emailing him back and forth. He happened to find a knife that I was looking for today that was out of stock on his site that he found, and I couldn't purchase it, and he uploaded it to the site, and I was able to purchase the knife that I was looking for. Very, very cool knife. One of the knives that I'm getting for me, by the way. So, not just a review. This is a knife that I think I'm getting for me, depending on what it feels like in hand, but I'm pretty sure this is a me knife. And he's just a cool guy. So, I highly recommend White Mountain Knives over anywhere. I don't have anything against Blade HQ. They kind of jacked up my last order, but that's not a big deal. I mean, that happens with companies. But I just want to get it out there. White Mountain Knives customer service on that dude is fantastic. And those of you that don't want to drop $200 on a knife, you can just go use Sezzle, because they use Sezzle on that site, and you can pay in 4 increments. Very, very cool. Not trying to sell them. I don't get paid by them. I'm not sponsored by him, nor does my promo code get me anything if you use it. It solely gets you 10% off. I just really want to advocate for them, because they're my favorite site. If I had to choose anywhere, that's my favorite site to go to. Anyways, my name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. This is the Bestech Beluga, and Bestech does great work, and this is no exception. You guys stay sharp, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great freaking day, guys. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means a lot. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, give me some feedback in the comments below, and hit that thumbs down button. In case you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, which will be listed right here. In that Patreon, we're giving bi-monthly giveaways to just the Patreons based on the number of Patreons that we have in the Patreon. We will also be giving discounts on all the knives that I sell based on the number of patrons. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great day.